to a dude.
Well, hello, good night. I hope you're all well. I'm checking out if everything is working fine. I think I'm coming out all right. Let me just check how the live stream is coming. Let me just check it out. Okay, yeah, great. I think I'm sounding okay. This time, thank God. I have been working on this so much. The stream is good. The streaming is coming out really great. Okay, I think I can close this down. Okay. Okay. Let me just. Okay. I know I'm coming up all right. All right. Wonderful. Well, as you must know, let me just go to before okay, this is my page. I have to go to my channel. All right, wonderful. I guess now you can watch it. Okay, I have this poll from the previous live stream about Lisa Marie first demo and if they should have this demo released. Is the song Baby I Love You by Aretha Franklin. I think this song sounds really great, really amazing. I would love to have that remastered and released for somebody. I don't know if it's EPE or it's Riley who is managing Lisa's music right now. I know the record companies, after she died, they went really, how can I say this, taking the rights when you were using her her music in YouTube. They immediately went like it is copyrighted, and when she was alive there wasn't many problems, but then she died, and I think it's Capitol and Universal and something like that, they started to claim her music, and this happened after she died. But I don't know who has the rights for Lisa's demo, and even if the demo exists right now, I hope it does, because it's really amazing how she sounds. And I think I shared some part of the demo from my friend on her Story Project YouTube channel. She shared the demo, and it's worth checking it out. So yeah, I'm going to go straight to the before that. I have these WhatsApp numbers where you can send me whatever is questions, written messages, and even audio messages. I would love to hear your stories. If you have stories about Elvis, going to his concerts, meeting him personally, meeting Lisa Marie as well, going to her concerts. I would love to hear about the pirates that were, Lisa's really the strong fan base that she had at the time when she started to release her music. And I would love to hear those stories from the fan base, and it would be really interesting to hear it. So, anyways, let's just go to the Nerve exclusive Donna Presley. I heard it today. I thought some questions that Maureen stated or asked, they were really amazing. They were really spot on. Many of those things I think I thought about them for years now, and she made the right questions, even though they were uncomfortable for Donna, because Donna, I think she's really a class act, and she tries not to be. She's a really true lady and a class act, and she tries not to be that controversial, but I think she has her opinions as well, and she tried to keep it more civil. I would say. So, let's go straight to the video. Here's some parts because I have some things to say about that. Either way, well, let's go straight to the video. Okay, I will stop to make more, to give my input in this and my opinions as well. Okay, this is just my opinion for entertainment purposes only, and well, let's start. Can you hear it now? Let me just check it out. Oh, come on. What is the problem here? I have no problem listening to this today. Why am I having a problem here? Ooh. Let me just check it out. Oh, maybe I should upload this. Looks good. Now it should work. Let me just check it out.
Priscilla has been out there low these many decades, feasting off of the memory of Elvis Presley. Mm-hmm. What is it about what she's saying now that made you feel you had to come forward?
Well, unfortunately, everything. I mean, it's gotten to the point that where it seems like she's blaming Elvis and the family for anything that's gone wrong in the past 40 some odd years. And it was just time to stand up and say enough is enough. I mean, I feel like that, the things that she said about Elvis and even Lisa, I just think are wrong, and it's time to stand up and be counted and say, look, this is my family, a family I grew up with, a family that I love dearly, and it's time to set the record straight and just stop all this nonsense about everything that's gone wrong or anything that any problems that she might have had. She feels like in her life she wants to blame Elvis, and the family for, and it's time to stop that.
I want to get to Lisa Marie with you, but first I wanted to ask you, you said that Priscilla has no relationship really with any of Elvis's surviving relatives, save one, and that you felt she always looked down on the Presley family.
Yes, that's true. I mean, even at a very young age, it's like it was more condescending, so to speak. Like we didn't aspire to what she was hoping to aspire to.
Which is, or was. I mean, are you similar ages, you and Priscilla?
She's 5 years older than I am.
Okay, so as a young girl, that's a big gap, but as you get older, that's nothing.
Not nothing. That's true. Very true.
So was she older than you?
She's 5.
Okay, so you were about 9 or 10 when Priscilla alighted in Nashville or Memphis, sorry, at Graceland.
Yes, that's true.
And you, from the beginning, you got a sense of she thought she was much better?
Well, yes. I mean, my younger sister, Karen, we called her Susie, but anyway, she was a very loving and kind of a touchy-feely, what we call touchy-feely person.
Oh, this is something really interesting. She's basically saying that Priscilla was really cold and didn't like to be touched and hugged, and she didn't like the display of affection that Elvis family usually have. I really love that. Me as as Latin American, and we are really into that, into showing affection, hugs, and all that stuff. So this is something I really loved about the Presley family, Elvis, and Lisa, and they were so expressive with their love. And I really, really like that, and I admire that.
Person who liked to hug people and so forth. And so when she would see Priscilla, she would run up and hug her. And then Priscilla told me one day that it annoyed her and that she wished that she would stop that. So I told my sister to stop, hugging her. And it really upset my sister, And it was just little things like that stand out in my mind, that she felt like she was ascending to a higher plane than the rest of us.
Donna, why do you think Elvis married Priscilla?
I think there was a lot of pressure on him. The colonel basically told him to, either marry her or send her home. And, of course, her dad, being a dad, I guess, he felt like it was time to make an honest woman of her, so to speak, and to marry her. And Elvis felt that pressure.
I forget whether it was on your podcast or I'd read this elsewhere, but the report is that it was Priscilla's father who said, if you don't marry her, this is going to be a public relations nightmare for you. It's going to be a career killer.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And so.
Wow. This is something we suspected. Some of us suspected as well. There were stories about Elvis really being really pressured to marry Priscilla from the Colonel Parkers and from even Priscilla's stepfather. So yeah, it's another confirmation. There are many things that we are getting, many confirmations of many things we have been suspecting for many years. So let's go on.
So, he felt like he had no choice. It's not that he wanted to marry her. It's just like he felt he had no choice to do so. He had to.
And so it must be incredibly galling for you and other members of the Presley family to see her parading around at 80 years old now as if she's the widow Presley. They divorced. He had moved on with multiple other women.
Yes.
Yeah, that is something that I don't understand. It's like media, many people are treating Priscilla as the widow, and she divorced in 1973. So she's taking that she thinks she's as relevant as Elvis, and she's not. And she has been using the Presley name for many years, even having a perfume with her name. This is something Lisa tried to avoid for many years, not using her the Presley name. So let's move on.
By the way, may I ask you, do you have any knowledge of this? It's long been rumored that Elvis's real love, the woman he really was the one who got away, was Anne Margret.
In my belief, yes, I believe that that's true.
You do. Can you tell us why?
Yes. I completely agree. I think Anne Margaret is my favorite, I would say, girlfriend or partner of Elvis. I love that match. I think their chemistry transcends the screen, and this is something that really marked me in my childhood, because when I was a child in the 80s, I became an Elvis fan. Then I became a Lisa fan later. But living in Las Vegas with Elvis and Anne Margaret, I think it marked my childhood. So yeah, another coincidence. And I love that a real Presley is kind of confirming it. So let's go on.
Well, I think that they were very similar in a lot of ways. They were both in show business, and I think that was probably the downfall of why they didn't make it, because they were both in show business. They both had great careers ahead of them, and that's not always a good thing. So I think he truly, really loved her. She was kind of like a female Elvis in a lot of ways,
Yes.
Very sweet and loving person, and I met her at the funeral. And
you did. She was at the funeral.
Indeed, she was. She and her husband were at the funeral. Yes.
So that was part of the reason they could never get together. She was also married at the time. But what was her demeanor like at Elvis's funeral?
Well, she was heartbroken. I mean, they were very close, even though they weren't together anymore in that sense. They were still very good friends. And, I've always admired and respected Anne for the way that she's been about Elvis. She kept things private. It was a love story that they shared, and she kept it to herself. So I admired her. But yes, you could tell she was very heartbroken over the situation. Yeah.
It's such an interesting contrast, Donna, now that we're talking about it, because I've seen Anne Margaret interviewed, I'm going to say within the past year or so, and she is invariably asked about Elvis and their relationship. And
another class act, Anne Margaret never said a bad thing about Elvis, and she remembers their relationship with so much love. And yeah, she's actually a very sweet lady as well.
She, to this day, keeps it very private. She won't even really acknowledge that it was ever romantic.
That's true.
And it's such a stark contrast to the widow Presley, who's out here, I wanted to also ask you.
Sorry. This Maureen and the other lady that is in this program, I can't remember her name. They are always asking the right questions, even if they can be uncomfortable for the interview, the person that is being interviewed. They are just spot on and going straight to the point. So the widow.
As we begin to talk about Lisa, Elvis as a dad, what was he like with Lisa?
Well, he spoiled her rotten. He really did. He absolutely adored her. She was if there is a true love of Elvis's life, it was Lisa. He was a little girl, and he was raised in a very loving and
no doubt about that. The love and connection they both had, it was really, really, it was really moving. It's really touched you in such a special way, the connection father and daughter had. It was really amazing.
And carrying home, and he wanted that for Lisa, and he just absolutely adored her, everything about her, and she was the spitting image of him.
She was.
Oh yeah, she was, and also not only in looks, but in spirit too.
Yes.
She was a precocious child, and she had a wicked sense of humor, and she was very much like him in a lot of ways.
I wonder if that is some of what I perceive as, because I've done all of my reading. And by the way, for anyone watching The Nerve, for my money, Donna, correct me if you think I'm wrong, one of the best, if not the best, biographies of Elvis was written by Peter Guralnick. Yes. Careless Love, volume 2 of his 2-volume Elvis biography. And what he gets so right about Elvis that I don't think any other biographer ever truly located was Elvis's inherent loneliness, which came at that was the cost of his genius. There was an inherent.
And Lisa felt the same way for other reasons as well. I think even Michael Jackson, as I connect Elvis and Michael a lot, but because they are such great, these figures that are even larger than anyone. It's like they are semi-gods. So, but in that way, they were trying to find some normalcy and love and affection, and trying to be a normal person as well. And I think this is why Lisa and Michael as well connected this way, because he felt she could understand him, and on that loneliness that comes with celebrity. And even Lisa was lonely, but it was for other reasons. It was her upbringing with Priscilla, being dropped in Scientology and stuff like that. So, but this is why I think there are many connections between Michael and Elvis, and Lisa being the woman just in the middle of these great personalities in, I would say, not American history only, but pop culture and global culture in general. So let's move on.
Loneliness to him. I wonder if Lisa Marie's utter resemblance to Elvis, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, temperamentally, incites some of what I can only describe, in my opinion, as the rage that Priscilla felt towards her own daughter.
Yes. This is a question I have been asking for years. Was Lisa so, in some ways, so similar to Elvis that Priscilla had a rage over her? She wanted to torture her because Lisa represented Elvis in some way, even though Lisa even had her own talent and her own personality, but at the same time, she was really similar to him. And this is a great, great question. I know it can be uncomfortable for Donna, who's trying to be, a class act and a lady, but that question was spot on and a really interesting question. So let's move on.
Do you have any thoughts?
I do have thoughts about that. I agree with you. I think the fact that she was Elvis's daughter and that she was so much like Elvis. And I feel like that Priscilla wanted her own career and her, because I heard her say on an interview the other night, well, I wanted to show that I could do it too. And I thought that was very telling. She said that because I think she always really wanted to be where Elvis was, in that he was an icon, a superstar. And I think that is something she's always kind of, aspired to.
What an odd thing, because especially I feel when you're close to it, you would even have greater knowledge of what a unicorn Elvis was. You know, very few people are touched with that amount of talent, the gifts that he had, which were many. You talking about spoiling Lisa and like being a hugger and wanting. Anyone who's been to Graceland, as I have, one of the things that strikes you about it when you walk in is, and I mean this in the best way possible, it's not a McMansion. It's not an estate. It feels small. It feels homey and cozy, and like it was built as a retreat and a respite and for domesticity.
Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. It was Elvis's home. He loved it. He bought it for his parents.
This is something really interesting because I have never been in Graceland. I will love to go someday, I hope. But this is what many people say. It's not a cold mansion, huge mansion, ostentatious mansion like the usual mansion the rich and famous can have. It was cozy, it was warm, it had Elvis and I think Lisa's spirit as well, that warmness that they had. So this is something many people say, and it's really, really interesting.
He loved sharing that with them, and we were all there. We were a family. We were a close family, a loving family. And, we did hug. We did, every time he'd see me, he'd walk over, and I was 15 years younger than Elvis. He'd either pat me on the head or kiss me on top of the head. Hey, Donnie, which is what he always called me, was Donnie. And, how are you doing? And I mean, he was just a very loving and caring and kind, giving man. And I don't mean just in monetary ways. I'm talking about in his spirit, in his love, in the way he felt about things. And he loved to be with us. He knew that we were his safe place. We were his safety net. He knew we loved him no matter what. We loved him long before he was Elvis Presley. We loved Elvis, and he always knew that. And so he wanted to keep us close to him because he knew that we loved him. And he told me one time, I was in Grandma's room. I was spending the night there.
At Graceland.
At Graceland.
Which is on the first floor, which visitors can go see.
Yes. And I was there, and Grandma had just left the room to go into the kitchen for something. And Elvis walked in, and I was sitting in the chair. And I never forget, I was watching Gunsmoke, of all things, because Grandma loved Westerns. But he walks over and he sits down in front of me in the floor in front of my chair, and he's talking to me. And he's asking me about, I was going to graduate high school soon, who I was dating and so forth, and what I wanted to do with my life. And I told him, I said, well, I'm not really sure what I want to do with my life yet, Elvis. I'm still, at odds. And he said, well, remember these 4 things. He said, you can be anything you want to be and do anything you want to do if you remember these 4 things. And I said, okay, what are they? He said, always have faith in God. always have faith in yourself, be willing to work hard for what you want, and never let anyone tell you that you cannot accomplish your dreams, because I'm living proof that you can.
Wow, that is such a great advice. Let me just see in the comment section. Hey friend, I like Donna. She reminds me of my grandma. I didn't know what to think of her at first, but my intuition tells me she's honest. She's from the next town, over from me in AR. Okay, really, yeah. She's a great lady. I love her as well. And I support her that she's coming out to talk about Elvis and defend Elvis and Lisa. It's really great. Well, let's move on.
So I thought, that advice was so kind and so sweet and so giving. And he told me at the same evening, he said, Donnie, I envy you. And I said, I laughed because I said, Elvis, you're Elvis. Why do you envy me? And he said, because when you go out on a date with a guy, it's because he likes you for you. If you have a friend, it's because she likes you because you're you. I don't have that luxury. I never know if someone that I meet that I, bring into my inner circle, if they like me for being Elvis or Elvis Presley. And it's the same with a woman. I never know for sure if she loves me for me or for Elvis Presley.
This is something I think many, not many, I would say, when you are down to earth and really into the important things in life, that is love, affection, being close to people that love you and you can love back, and all of that. It shows that Elvis was really into the important things, as Lisa as well. I think in her book, and even Riley in her funeral, stated that the most important thing for Lisa was love, the emotional connection with others, being loved, showing love as well, and not just being money driven and ambitious in that way that you forget the most important things that they are the simple things of life. I think this is really amazing, and it shows how Elvis was and how the Presley family was, and even Lisa inherited this as well. And it was really important for her. So the most important thing for Lisa was her children. And where is this is coming from,
That is so profound, Donna, and that is the loneliness that Peter Guralnick really explored in Careless Love.
Yeah.
There is
well, I will check out that book. It seems to be really interesting. It's worth checking it out. So
that letter or that note to himself that he wrote, I believe this was during his Vegas residency, towards the end. And I believe Wayne Newton bought this at auction. And Elvis is writing to himself, and towards the end of it, he's talking to God, and he says, I get so alone sometimes that it's like a physical ache. And to that, so I really want to talk about what Priscilla is not only doing vis-a-vis Elvis's legacy and trying to lock it down as her own, but what she is.
Sorry, but it's true. I agree. Again, this is my opinion for entertainment purposes only, but I agree. I fully agree.
Talking about in terms of her late daughter now, as we've discussed on The Nerve, as part of this media tour that Priscilla is on, anyone interviewing her is prevented from asking the only question that matters, as contained in this lawsuit brought against Priscilla by two of her former business partners. Did you, in fact, as alleged, pull the plug prematurely on your daughter, Lisa Marie?
Another question that is just go straight to the point, really honest and straight to the point. Is I love her questions. I love her questions so far, even if they can be uncomfortable. But I think Priscilla, has now she. I don't think, and again, it's my opinion, she can save herself from all of this,
so that you could wrest control of Graceland and the estate from your own granddaughter, Riley Keough.
Mm-hmm.
Donna, your thoughts?
Well, as a mother and a grandmother, that's very hard for me to even wrap my head around. That it at a time that your daughter is laying there, that you're even thinking about in terms of the estate and what's going to happen and how you can gain control again. To me, that is very damning. I can't even begin to imagine that. I can't wrap my head around it. Because, if Elvis had known that Lisa, as she said in her book, and I'm going by her words especially here, I felt alone, I felt unloved and uncared for, like I was a pawn in a game. Mm-hmm. And those are Lisa's words. If Elvis had known that, if Elvis could have been around here, and been alive to take care of her, he would have taken full control and loved her and shown her. And I'm so heartbroken by that and devastated in myself that I didn't reach out to Lisa. Had I known that she was going through that, I would have reached out and said,
sorry, I have to interrupt, but I think, and this question is coming later, if she thought that Priscilla sort of managed to get Lisa away from the Presley family after Elvis died, and this is another confirmation of what we have been suspecting for years. So let's go on.
You're not alone. You are loved, and there's family here that wants to be there for you and care about you and teach you the things that your father knew and teach you the ways of your father and the family of having a strong faith in God and loving each other and being respectful and kind of everyone. So it was very difficult for me.
Do you think, Donna, that Priscilla is capable of such a thing?
Of love?
No,
of pulling the plug prematurely.
Of love? Sorry. But it's like, I know I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's like something that I suspected as well. Is Priscilla capable of loving somebody except from herself? That is another interesting question. I think, well, it's never wrong, but that dynamics goes for another live stream, I guess. I don't know.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really surprised at much that happens with Priscilla.
Wow. I mean, it's not a no. And, I find it very interesting that Riley has largely she issued one very milquetoast, my opinion, statement vis-a-vis this allegation, but she has largely kept her mouth shut, which says a lot to me.
Yeah.
Do you think that Priscilla...
Wait. This is another thing. because they said that Riley and Priscilla had a public statement against the lawsuit. This was said in People's Magazine, but then there isn't really a public statement from Riley except for that, People's article that was published a few, weeks ago. But that's it. There isn't a public statement from Riley about all of this, and even the memoir. It's like her mouth is. And then the second edition of Lisa's and Riley's memoir is coming out with a new afterword, and I'm really intrigued with that and what Riley have to say about it. So that is, I think, the connection with all of this.
Deliberately kept Lisa Marie from the Presley side of the family after Elvis died.
In my opinion, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Why do you think she did that?
In my opinion, yes, as well. In my opinion, for entertainment purposes only.
Because we were a little too commonplace, parochial, had a strong faith in God. I remember when my mom wrote her book, I talked to Priscilla about it possibly going into Graceland. And she said, no, it's got too much God in it.
Sorry, about the book, your mom's book, which has just been republished, One Flower While I Live, Elvis as I Remember Him, which also talks about Elvis on the porch of the shotgun house he grew up in. That's a house with one room, a front door, and straight back is the back door.
Right, exactly.
Real poverty he grew up in. And
Absolutely.
He said, my dream is to buy my parents a house, and Graceland was it.
Yes.
So, but you don't think it had anything to do with alienating her to be close to her father's side of the family is to be close to Elvis as you knew him, not as Priscilla knew him.
Yes. Yes. I truly believe that she did keep us away from Lisa because of that. We grew up in a faith-based family. We grew up in a very caring and loving family. And, we have had nothing but absolute love, adoration, respect, and kindness, in our lives. And we had that for Elvis and still do today. And that's why I'm standing up now and saying my truth and saying what's true and what's not true. And,
what are some of the other things that Priscilla is saying about Elvis that you take particular issue with?
Well, the fact that she, is blaming, one thing that really upset me was she was blaming the issues or any problems that Lisa had growing up on Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is another thing. She's always blaming Elvis for Lisa's drug problem, Lisa's behavior, and everything. And she doesn't assume her part on how, I think, how Lisa was damaged after Elvis died. It was not just watching her father die that can be traumatizing, but the afterwards, Scientology and Michael Edwards. So
Elvis has been gone for 48 years now, and Lisa Marie, God love her, was 9 years old when Elvis passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's blaming all that on Elvis, that Lisa had any problems. And it's not about the fact of growing up, as Lisa said in her book, without love, not feeling that love and connection and feeling like she was merely a pawn. So I think that, that she would having brought her close to the family, we would have taught her, we would have shown her the love that she deserved and that she needed, because we did love her. We do, still love her, even though she's gone. And that's why I'm so heartbroken that I didn't reach out. I guess in my own, to be quite honest, I felt like that there would be a misconception about it, that, it wouldn't be welcomed. And until I read Lisa's book, I knew how alone that she was and how unloved she felt. And
it's so
many people were shocked, actually. Even Linda Thompson, she seemed to be pretty much connected to Lisa after she separated from Elvis, and they kept this friendship. But even Linda Thompson was shocked on the things that were said in the book and what Lisa had to suffer and bear after Elvis died.
Sad, and it's so true, by the way, your point about Priscilla conveniently blaming Elvis, who has, as you said, been dead for 48 years, yet she has to be buried at Graceland, and we'll get to that. Okay, so he's
another thing that if your ex-husband was the devil, why you want to be buried next to the devil? Like, dude, please, come on.
It's either the devil or he's not. Okay. When, as per Lisa Marie's own writing in her book, which I have here, From Here to the Great Unknown, finished by her daughter Riley, who, as stated before on The Nerve, I think is a class act. If you want to judge Lisa Marie, who Priscilla again is dragging through the mud, judge her by the daughter she turned out, who seems a class A human being. Perhaps her daughter was not only trying,
like Riley said in the funeral, or all of Lisa's children are a reflection of how Lisa raised them and upbring them. So I agree as well.
traumatized from being at Graceland when her father died and witnessing that. But having Priscilla's live-in boyfriend molest Lisa by her own self-report for 4 years. And Priscilla says, oh, it was a misunderstanding.
Yes, indeed. And that alone would cause, besides feeling unloved and unwanted, then have this happen.
This is sorry I had to interrupt Donna's explanation, but this is something we have to consider. Lisa had many symptoms of an abused child, and they are just put under the carpet by Priscilla. Even Priscilla has the nerve to blame Lisa of what happened with Michael Edwards. So, yeah.
A man, her boyfriend, molest Lisa. I mean, that alone, those two things right there would be enough to cause problems.
Do you think being molested as a child wouldn't trigger you to have an addiction later? Okay.
For a child.
Of course. And then add Scientology onto that. Add dumping your difficult daughter to be raised over by Scientologists.
Yes, exactly. And that's another point right there. So I feel like that.
Being raised by a cult. You let your only daughter to be raised by a cult. Not a religion, cult. I wouldn't even get that, a religion, but it's a cult, an effing cult.
In some ways, bless her heart, Lisa turned out to be such a warm and loving and caring woman because she had that spirit of Elvis in her and she had that love of Elvis with her. So she turned out to be a wonderful woman. She turned out, even though with issues and troubles that she might have had, although I feel like that they've been greatly expounded upon, and she turned out a beautiful daughter like Riley and son like Ben and the other two daughters, Finley and Harper. She was a loving and caring woman and mother.
And yes, in spite of all that trauma, Lisa turned out to be a great woman, a great mother. I think she tried to be the best mother she could be, trying to be quite the opposite of the upbringing she had with her mother. So, yeah. Let me see there are some comments here. Exactly, wouldn't you want to be buried by Lisa or Navarone? I just hope Navarone is not buried at Graceland. I wouldn't be shocked if they try to do that. Exactly, yeah. The points expressed here are really, it's really 100% on point. All these statements and not the statements, I would say opinions for entertainment purposes only, but yeah, they are right. I agree 100% with what these two ladies are saying. It's narcissistic. Yeah, I think, in my honest and modest opinion, that she is narcissistic. So let's move on.
And something that she obviously, in her own words, didn't feel like she received.
So to Priscilla's negotiated settlement with Riley Keough, her own granddaughter, who inherited Graceland upon her mother's untimely tragic death.
Yes.
And who has an email has been made public, we don't know how, in which Riley writing to Priscilla, having to hire lawyers before she could even bury her mother.
Yes. To
fight with her grandmother. Her grandmother was not letting go of Graceland. We're going to keep those claws in there, which to me feels very telling, because as you were to just circle back to the top of our conversation, when you said Priscilla looked at Elvis with envy and said, I want that. And her life really, the acting career never really took off. We've not really done anything of note. So this.
Yeah, I think she had a resentment with Elvis and with Lisa as well. And this is why I think, this is my opinion again, I think this is why Navarone thinks this as well, and was jealous of Lisa being the Elvis Presley's daughter, and all of that. And that seed, I think it was planted by Priscilla in Navarone's mind. So
this is the legacy play, right? We're going to be interred in Graceland. Do you know where her designated plot is, and the feeling among the Presley family that Priscilla will be laid to rest with Elvis and his father and all of the Presleys?
I have no idea where she thinks that she could be laid to rest there, but in my opinion, I don't know why she would want to be. She's blamed Elvis for everything that's happened in her life, and yet she maintains the Presley name, which in my opinion is not something that she should do because she was divorced from Elvis. She obtained Graceland through Uncle Vernon, and he did that to protect Lisa Marie. And when he said that, he told me that he was going to make her a trustee. And I said to him, Uncle Vernon, are you sure that's what Elvis would want? He said, no, he wouldn't.
He said, no, he wouldn't want this.
But he said, I have to take care of Lisa Marie. She is my only grandchild. She is my thoughts right now. So I have to maintain, and as a mother, I'm sure she'll provide for and take care of her and take care of her legacy and her inheritance.
So this is just another interesting thing. We have to keep in mind that Vernon was really sick and dying. I think he knew he was going to die soon, so he tried to do the best he could do, and I don't think I can judge him. He tried to do the best, and I don't think he did know how Priscilla could have. No one could imagine what happened afterwards, after Elvis died. So.
And so here we are. Here we are. We are now at a point in the narrative in this story where Priscilla has been accused of pulling the plug prematurely on her own daughter before Riley could even get there. Riley was midair.
Yes.
Exactly.
Trying to reach her mother in order to wrest control back from her daughter of Graceland, which is, you can understand kind of why. It doesn't excuse it or anything, but Graceland is one of the 3 most visited residences in the United States. Donna, correct me. Is it right after the White House or is it number 1?
Yes.
Right after the White House. And it's all
exactly. It's right after the White House. It's the president of the United States home, and then Graceland.
Also considered, I did a tour of some cemeteries in New Orleans, and they said, can you name one of the most visited cemeteries in the world? And I was like, yeah, Graceland, because I've been there. It's kind of also considered that. I mean, it's living American history.
Yes, it is.
Last month, I told you about Honey Love. And
okay, this is an ad. Okay, I think we just finished with the interview. Okay. Okay, really, it was really cool interview. I think it's the questions Maureen does, or the questions she's doing, they are spot on. They are going straight to the point, 100% honest, and I pretty much love and agreed with this amazing interview. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. So it was a great interview. I loved it. The other lady that is with Maureen, I can't remember her name right now, that is an attorney and a lawyer. I think she makes the right questions as well, the honest, 100% honest and right questions as well. Well, this is all for today. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is just my opinion about this video. What else? I am going to remember you guys to send me stories, if you have stories of Graceland, of Elvis concerts, Lisa's concerts, meeting Riley, whatever story you have, Presley related story, you can share with us. Just send me a WhatsApp voice message here, and I will get it in this live stream as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in another live stream. This is my live stream number 16. It wasn't as accidental as the previous ones, but I think it turned out pretty well. So guys, I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, don't forget to follow me in the other social media. I have Twitter and TikTok as well. So bye for now. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.